Alright guys, so a bit of an update, a little bit of purple because I'm having some red wine. Said before, I'm knocking beer and that on the head. It was when I started reviewing all the ingredients and stuff in there, I just thought, it's not beer. So I've gone with something far simpler, which is just grapes. But anyway, that's why my mouth's a little bit purple at the minute. So the stocks are a bit up and down, as you probably see in gas. I mean, I do get my little um, Amazon Alexa telling me the market's down, the market's mixed. Very rare is it saying the market's up, but it's still moving forward. That's one of the things I want to say, guys. Even if it's like it's had swings where it's gone from like 60, 70 down to 40, up to 100, down to I think it's probably about 70 today, and it's up and down. But what you can't see as well is I've got a pension fund that's doing similar stuff, and I've got a ISA with a lot more money in it. Those little swings on those accounts isn't 30-40 pounds. I think on the worst day it was something like 700-900 pounds gone. But this is the point, it's not a short-term game. That's why I don't really keep talking about it. I just keep topping it up with little bits of money, and that brings me on to today's video as well. So what you want to do is keep it consistent, but if you have things you can't control, then don't pay it this month. And like this month, I've still got my money going in my ISA, still money in my pension, but the money in this account is probably down to probably about 30 quid going in this month. Why? Because I've had land taxes in the Philippines, I've had my son's dentistry bills. He started a new venture as well, and I'm thinking I'll have a chat with him, because I'm probably going to open the website up for it, because it's going to be a small business which is predominantly army surplus, cosplay, hunting, mix of all sorts. But because he's like at the age where it's good for him to learn and take some risks, and if it works out, you do quite well. But it meant I've had to put some money into that, which normally goes into the savings accounts. So I'm sitting looking at some large boxes of military uniforms and stuff. I think he's got some Italian, French, and British Army stuff. So I've got to go all this to Spain. Here's a little bit a lot of people don't know. A lot of the stuff, it's relating to the origin of where it came from. So, for example, although the British stuff is made in China, which it used to be, the uniforms used to get made by a company called Faithful Overalls in Worcester. Because I remember making all the camo uniforms for the desert, for Desert Storm. So I remember those days, because they didn't have much of the British Army in the desert colours. So that's a fairly large order. And I always remember the owner telling me that the Ministry of Defence wouldn't sign him a cheque if the cheque was under £250,000. So you can guess the sort of pressure that business gets under sometimes, where the Ministry of Defence pays it when it feels like it. But anyway, off tangent. But yeah, because he's very into his military stuff. I'm going to look at doing some stuff with replica weapons and stuff as well. I think it'll be an interesting little venture for him. But as I say, these are the type of things where you have no control over all your money all the time. So 30 quid's gone in this month, and that's it for the month, because everything's gone out everywhere else. Work's been really good and busy this week. It's been interesting. I'm dealing with a lot of corporate wording. It's more commercialized probably the last month or 2 months. So it's a new arena for me, because normally I do it all in the background, then other people are sort of presenting it, but I'm actually getting involved with boards and stuff as well myself now, which is which is interesting. I don't normally get involved. Don't normally have to, but my new role is completely different to my last role. Spanish stuff's still going. We're still looking around for the houses, starting to make a decision on it. We've also started looking at if this business unit stuff starts developing, then maybe we put the farm on hold and take on a unit near where we are in La Mata. Because the good thing is there's lots of units there, because it's not a bustling environment, it's very seasonal, but like with the surplus stuff, there's not a lot of competition. It is a bit niche. This is why I'm quite happy to talk about it, because you're probably sort of think, oh. So the thing in the Philippines, as soon as you did something, people copy it. So when we opened the internet cafe, within probably 2 months, there was 7 to 9 new internet cafe around us. Every time we did something, you get people replicate. So I'm not particularly bothered about that type of stuff, because this is for a teenager, this is for his first business, this is for it to see where it goes. And at the same time, if we take on a small unit, there's somewhere for the band to practice, we can work it for different things. So his primary role would be like a retail unit, but off the back of that, who knows? Because one of the big things we've got as a problem in Spain at the minute, space. So the other thing is, I haven't had a shave for 3 days. You're probably looking, he looks bloody scruffy, he does. It's A, I've been very busy, but B, I was shaving lately, and because of the weather, my skin's been quite dry, so it starts scratching it. So I've let it grow for a few days to get it smooth as the baby's bum again, so I can give it a good shave. So because I've got sensitive skin. But yeah, everything's okay. The Davos stuff that's in the media is an interesting thing, but do you know what? Best thing for it? Switch it off. It's all fighting with each other and stuff we don't control. It's like when I keep hearing stuff where Starmer's there, I don't want to hear from him. I want a media system that pre-filters. That's what AI could do. Create a filter that just removes anything that's got Starmer in it, so you never see him again. But he's the Prime Minister. Look, he's on, was it U-turn 15 now, isn't it? Because even the selling off of the islands is now, I believe, been abandoned or put on pause or whatever. So he's like the guy that comes in and upsets everybody, and then comes back and goes, "Oh, I was only joking." But with an economy, it's quite detrimental. But yeah, it's all good. I'm going to do a positive video after this one, but I just thought I'd do a little natter one just to say what I've been up to. I'm going to do more on the food stuff as well, because I've got a lot of views on the food stuff. I was just in the kitchen and thought, you know what? I forget a lot of people can't cook. That's why I do it like it's like clip, 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 because you go, oh, needs onions, needs this, needs that, and you can do it at your own pace. So I'll do more of those, because I've got some lovely steak. Listen to me. Not saying, oh, listen, I'm listening to me like, it was quite funny. I was talking to a friend last night, and I was thinking in my head, we're talking like a couple of old bloody women, and we're talking about food in the supermarkets. And bizarrely, we were both in Lidl, me in Northampton and him in London, and we were just talking about the food and stuff we were doing, and then you're just thinking, bloody hell, years ago, these conversations wouldn't even happen. We wouldn't even think about it. But today is becoming a norm of hitting the 50s, I suppose. But it is good that you can have these conversations about where to get the best ingredients, because he was looking for a pie. His son wanted a fruit pie, and I was saying it's probably best at Morrison's, because they're quite a large bakery area. So exciting conversations that we have. But I've got to admit, work's been busy. I did share my degree, didn't I? My diploma. Where have I got that? Don't know if I shared it or not. It's my postgraduate degree. Well, diploma. So, see, I've got this, which is a postgraduate diploma. Then I've got a level 7, which is the equivalent of an MBA. Is it a master's? Equivalent of a master's. So between them, it's good because this one is academic, the other one is practical. So they're good qualifications, and it just reminded me I've got, so I was doing I might have said I was doing a startup course as well. I've got the last module to do on that today. Can't be bothered doing it tomorrow. That's not the Kaizen method. Just get on with it. Should get on with it. But the last stage is quite easy. It's the business plan, which I'll just rattle off in an hour. The whole point I want to say on that is just keep developing yourself. Even if it's not in the business, it's about you. And I know I keep re-emphasizing this because decades go quite quickly. You'll put it off because you're too busy at work. You got young kids. There's always a reason not to do it. Ultimately, kickstart it, and then you work out the rest. This is why I do the video with the investment stuff, because I'm showing it's not growing massively. It's just consistent. There's more money going in, and it's stepping up. And bear in mind, I can cash all that out within, like, say, 24 hours. So if I wanted to take all the money out, I can do. So even if we were just using it as a savings account, it works. Although I'm not your financial advisor, I'm not taking that responsibility. For me, it works quite well. Even when it's gone down, all I do is just leave it till it goes back up. You pick stocks that are going to be sustainable and solid. Because it's quite funny. I think there's going to be some changes in the old green energy stuff, because there's a raw nerve being hit, which is pushing the fact that this is an agenda for certain parties, and the fact that we can't generate batteries at a low cost to fill the gap. So the market's either going to be, you've got to have better storage or nuclear. The others are too unreliable because the storage is unreliable. You can have twice the size that you need, but if you can't store the energy, it's no point. So that's what I keep saying about, I invested in uranium. The uranium mines, that's one of my stocks that sort of, it went down, but it's sitting there because I do expect that will shift if it gets a green light somewhere, and then it'll shift quite rapidly. But what do I know? I'm just putting a little bit in here and there, and if we get a run on it, great. Which is the other side of this, is don't put in more than you can afford to lose. Don't put it in if you need it, and put it in to move forward. Because part of life is, you may feel you're stuck in a rut, but that's what I talk about: education, investments, and getting debt free. If you can manage those three, most other things are much easier. And the sad thing is, most people aren't taught how to manage those three. I mean, let's face it, the people that are supposed to have informed us couldn't even get the food pyramid right. They couldn't get COVID right. They couldn't get PPE right. They can't get energy management right. There's very little they do unless it's self-interest, which means we're on our own. So let's work on those solutions. But anyway, guys, that's enough for today. Do this one. I'll do something positive once I work out what I want to do. Thanks for watching.